Gio and I are sitting in the coffee shop. We're about 20 feet apart. We didn't say hello to each other, but we made eye contact a couple times. Then Gio stands up, puts his hand in his pants, and pulls it out. I'm like, what the f? So I am, at this time, living in CDO downtown. On the list of things that I wanted to do was visit this coffee shop that was recommended on YouTube. This coffee shop is in CDO Uptown. I'm in downtown. This coffee shop is in CDO Uptown. Most people would probably get a taxi from downtown to Uptown, but I love an adventure, so I wanted to go for a walk. My favorite hobby is hiking, so I saw this as a big adventure, kind of like a hike. So anyway, I wanted to walk to CDO Uptown. CDO Uptown, it's about 430 meters elevation, so it's a lot higher than most of the Philippines. Uptown, it's very clean. There's a lot of wide open spaces. There's a lot of greens. The elevation is 430 meters compared to Baguio, which is 1,500 meters. So it's not as high as Baguio, but it is higher. It does make things a bit cooler. Living in CDO Uptown is a bit more upscale. Things are a little more expensive there because it's a bit cooler, wide open spaces, so it's a little bit more desirable place to live. Come on, let's go on a walk from CDO downtown, where my Airbnb was, and we're gonna head uptown to the SM Mall. Let's go, please. Let's have a nice hike, a nice walk. We're gonna go from my Airbnb in downtown, and we're gonna head uptown. Come on, let's go. Here we are in SM Uptown. Right nearby this SM is a very cool little coffee shop. Here is the outside. Here is the inside of the coffee shop. So let me show you how close it is to the SM Mall. Anyway, here I am sitting down in the coffee shop when the great, the world famous Gio in the Philippines walks in the coffee shop. I'm starstruck. Gio was living in Primavera apartments at the time, and so I'll put a link to that video down below if you want to check out those condos. Gio walks in the coffee shop and I am stunned. It's Gio. I've been watching him for a couple years, and then there he is, suddenly right in front of me. Gio sits across from me, so we're about 20 feet. I'm on one side of the coffee shop and Gio's on the other side of the coffee shop. So Gio was sitting about here and I was sitting about here. So I'm busy on my computer doing my day trading stuff, and I'm looking up a couple times. I'm curious to see what Gio's doing. And I'm the only foreigner there, and probably he's wondering, because he's a friendly guy, he's probably wondering who I am. So since I was there first, I was already sipping my coffee at the time when he walked in. When Gio walks in, he gets a table and he goes to the counter to order a coffee. Even though we made eye contact a couple times, I didn't want to bother him. He's the world famous Gio. He's probably extremely busy working on something. Then Gio stands up, puts his hand in his pants. He whips it out. I can see it.
He took it out. He took it out.
It's It's huge. It's a pencil. He was working on some paper and he needed a pencil. So after he whips his pencil out, he then goes to the counter. He wants to order something. I can hear him. He's ordering a quesadilla. Gio, if you remember this, I'm sure you remember ordering a quesadilla. 5 minutes goes by. They bring out Gio's quesadilla, but what Gio doesn't realize is the girl behind the counter was pretty cute. She was actually my kind of girl. She also brought me a free quesadilla, compliments of the chef. Let's think about what happened here. Gio ordered a quesadilla. The girl behind the counter had a thing for Scotty Boy. So when Gio ordered the quesadilla, the girl's thinking, I'm gonna make one for that other foreign guy too. Maybe if I make him a quesadilla, he will notice me. And I did notice her. I mean, she was cute, there's no doubt about it. Looking back, I kind of regret not talking to her. But for some reason, maybe I was distracted by the presence of Gio. I just didn't think to talk to her at that moment. Or maybe because I was still getting over the whole Anacel thing. Thank you, Gio, if you are watching. I'm 100% sure that you didn't realize what had happened. If you, Gio, who is watching right now, I know you are, if you didn't order that quesadilla, she would not have brought me a quesadilla too. And it was a pretty good quesadilla. At this time, I'm thinking about standing up and walking over to the great Gio in the Philippines. But, I mean, just as quickly as he entered, I mean, boom, he was gone. I mean, by the time he stood up to the time he exited, I mean, it was like half a second. I mean, that's how great Gio in the Philippines really is. Most people walk, but, I mean, Gio, he flies. He flies around town. I mean, he's a busy guy. I mean, that's how he gets all his work done. Listen very carefully, okay? It's not all praise I have for Gio in the Philippines, because at this time I do meet Gio again in Dumaguete. That'll be an interesting story. So anyway, after he did leave the coffee shop, he left and he went back. Here is the walk from Blue Gray, the coffee shop name, Blue Gray, to the SM Mall. It's very near. So after SM, I am walking inside the SM Mall and I send a text message to Gio in the Philippines on Facebook Messenger. I told him I saw him at the coffee shop and he said, oh, that was you. We should meet up sometime. Well, he's a friendly guy. We did not meet up in CDO, but we did meet up, as I mentioned, in Dumaguete. Since my stories are in chronological order, I cannot tell the story yet. See, after CDO, I go to Bohol, I go to Cebu, and then I go to Dumaguete. So we are a ways from there, but I am going to tell the story of the second meeting, the one where we really do have lunch together, and I'm going to tell you about our conversation. Adios, my friends. You know, you are the best. You are the best. Please, please comment down below. I love seeing your comments, and I reply to you guys. And it isn't like a copy and paste, thanks for your message. I read your message and I reply straight from my heart. I love it when I get a ding on my email saying I got a new message. I am replying.